Today we've got another Fitter's Choice comparison, the 3 best players irons of 2025 according to our fitters. Emma Carpenter will hit the shots for us and we'll break it all down with TrackMan. Hey golfers, I'm Drew Mahowald, Second Swing Golf here in the Second Swing Tour Van, joined by Emma Carpenter for a fun video today. It's our Fitter's Choice Players Iron Comparison. Our fitters took a survey based on 2025 fittings so far and voted for their 3 best players irons. So we've got them here, Emma.
Nice.
We've got the Ping Blueprint S. We've got the Srixon ZXi7. That's the one I have in my bag. And the Titleist T150. So, Emma, first of all, I'm just going to hand these to you, and I want you to give me your initial thoughts on just how these 3 models look, what you think we might see in some testing here.
Definitely. Well, I play Titleist irons.
Yeah.
I have T200s in my bag right now that I just got fit for, bent 2 degrees weak, and automatically I definitely love the look of the Titleist head, but I mean, I've always thought that Ping had a good looking head as well. I've never played Ping irons before. I had a Ping fairway wood in my bag at one point. I mean, they make good golf clubs. And I don't know if I've ever even hit a Srixon iron before.
Yeah.
And you said that's what you got in your bag?
I do, yeah. As of this year, ZXi7 is the iron in my bag, so I'm hoping it does well in this particular test here.
Alrighty, yeah. I'm eager to hit it and ask you about why it works best for you.
Yeah, I mean, Srixon irons their reputation has really grown the last few years in this category, so I'm not surprised to see that they're in this test, but of course, Ping and Titleist are always leading the way in this category as well. So we're going to do this as a typical club comparison that we always do. This is just based on, again, the fitters at Second Swing took the survey. These are the top 3 irons in this category. And then we have Emma to hit the shots. So we're going to get some pretty good data here with TrackMan. Emma, you ready to swing here?
I sure am. Let's do it.
So ZXi7 to start.
Yeah.
Also for the viewers, same golf shaft in every iron. We've got the Dynamic Gold 105 S300. First of all, tell me about what put that down in address and tell me what you see with the ZXi7 there.
Well, I'm just trying to channel my inner Drew Mahowald here.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't recommend that on most occasions.
You say that. You don't give yourself enough credit. So where does this fall under like the range of blade game improvement iron?
It is. I mean, it's a player's iron, but you'll notice, I would imagine, based on when you look at these other 2, that top line probably is going to be a little thicker.
That's what it looks.
A little larger. Yeah.
So it looks really thick on the top, but then when I pick it up like this does not.
Yeah. The sole's pretty thin, but the top line to me is a little bigger than what you'll see with these other 2.
That's how I felt. That's literally the first thing I noticed was that it looked thick on the top, but then I picked it up and the sole was not as thick.
And I think part of the reason they do that is to blend it really well with their other models in the series. ZXi5 and ZXi4 are their kind of player's distance and game improvement irons. So a lot of players will blend all 3 together or blend, say, ZXi5 at the top of the iron set and then down to ZXi7, and they look the same from address. But.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was definitely the first thing I noticed. That's going a little bit right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. And so one thing too, so you said your irons are bent weak, right?
Yeah, my irons are bent weak, yes.
Okay, so actually your game loft then is probably, like your 7-iron loft is probably similar to this, because this is 32 degrees standard.
Yeah, yeah.
So
that would make sense. Like a short right miss would probably be pretty similar numbers to that, I think.
That one sounded and looked a lot cleaner contact.
It was a touch toey.
Okay.
But
that makes sense with that spin going a little low there.
Yeah, but a little better swing.
So Srixon's irons too have always tested a little bit lower in spin than the other a lot of the other companies. So we'll see if that stands in this test as well.
Definitely why a fitter's never put one in my hand. I definitely don't spin the ball too much with irons. That was like a little thin, but actually felt kind of good.
Okay, yeah, that looks about right. And it's funny too, because Titleist irons have also been in the mid to even high range of spin when it comes to irons. So in that sense, it works for you too.
Definitely.
If you need a little spin with your irons.
Well, it's like, I'm high launch, low spin with the driver. Everyone's like, awesome. And then I move into irons, and then they're like, okay, high launch, low spin. I mean, maybe not quite that much.
Yeah,
but
I mean, you could get away with it if you have soft greens.
Right.
But you want that stopping power.
Well, and for me, because I get so much carry with the irons, it was evening out because I was able to use shorter irons when my competitors were using longer irons. So I never had a problem spinning the ball in college. Oh, that was really good.
Oh yeah, there's some extra ball speed with that one.
That was really good. Yeah.
That's the best one of the day.
Yeah, like that would be an ideal right there.
Okay, so that's kind of the typical 7-iron distance that you'd be looking at there.
Exactly, right around.
With kind of an ideal strike, right?
Yeah, right around 160 carry. Exactly, like 2.5 path, 1 face.
Okay.
100 feet height.
Yeah, those are really good numbers right there.
Yeah, that's pretty much 1.4.
That's pretty darn good for this category of iron. You know, you see 1.4 with like those really hot, like hollow body irons.
Yeah.
With something forged, you rarely see that efficient. So let's get maybe one or two swings.
What about this club works so well for you?
I like the feel of it a lot.
Yeah.
I guess I asked for your feedback on that, but I like the feel of it a lot. And then part of it too is just so I'm not so looks oriented as some golfers are.
Really?
So the top line being a little larger
does
not bother me. A lot of players that are lower handicaps need to have an iron that looks kind of compact, small. I'm not that person. And so
that makes a lot of sense.
That part it doesn't faze me, and then it feels really good, and it's been really consistent too.
Oh, that was so bad. Oh geez, now I'm throwing it too. I hit like a foot behind the golf ball. Okay, well, you know what? That was like the same miss as my first one.
That actually doesn't look too bad, but
I think that might have just solely been because I'm on a mat.
Yeah, probably. Soft grass, that gets maybe a different result.
Yeah, that was rough. But here, let me try one more. That was solid, but just a baby push. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I thought it maybe hit the screen a tiny bit right, but we nonetheless have some numbers here. I can take this shot 5 out there.
That one out.
And then I'll bring up dispersion on this side. We can take a look at that. So here's, again, Srixon ZXi7. This is my iron that's in my bag right now. But these are pretty good numbers. I mean, you're averaging a little over 5,000 spin. I'm going to anticipate with actually both of these that spin is higher with T150 from Titleist and the Ping Blueprint. Carry 157 average, total 166 average. Your height's at 92. This is typical too. In a sense, I like where this miss is, where that kind of open face, short right shot that's kind of a standard quote unquote miss when we get to these types of irons.
That was my very first swing with it, yeah.
So I also just wanted to ask how you thought that felt. I mean, I know since you're playing T200 from Titleist, did it feel softer than that? Did it feel firmer than that?
It almost and this might be due to the shaft.
Yeah, I don't think that's the shaft you play.
No, yeah, how many grams?
It's probably heavier than what
I was going to say, I think it's just a little bit heavier than my irons typically, because I was going to say, something about the golf club just feels a little bit, clunky, kind of.
Yeah, it's probably slightly heavier than you play.
Yeah, but actually what I did like about it is when I caught it a little thin, sometimes, that shot that I caught a little thin, the one that's this is a short left one. Yeah.
Yep. That's
so
you remember.
A lot of times I feel like sometimes with an iron when I catch it thin, it feels terrible. Yeah. This one actually, in a weird way, still felt like I got some ball speed.
Yeah.
So I mean, I really, like I said, I don't think I've ever hit a Srixon iron before, but I can see why your fitters answered in the survey that it's a good club that they hand to
I remember
players.
Your specific feedback on that shot was, you hit it and you go, I hit that thin, but it also felt kind of good.
It didn't feel that bad.
Something along those lines.
Right.
Right. Yeah, and I also like too that when you hit it solid, right, your numbers and this is total distance on the screen. But notice how these are your three three of these 5 are sort of solid strikes, right?
Right.
How similar the distance is on them, right?
Yeah.
That's carry and total. It's the same number. So you hit a good shot, you hit that ball square, it's going to go the distance you need it to.
Right. You never want to choose an iron that it's If you find yourself on the golf course and you're like, I got a back flag, a great shot with this club is going to go that number, but
Right.
sometimes when I flush it, it just goes an extra
Yeah.
5 yards. Then all of a sudden you're dead.
Right.
So you never want something like that. So definitely, I mean, that one that I said I hit really solid, that was
Yeah.
like, I would say that was pretty ideal. Like, I'm not going to get a whole lot more out of it. I really don't
Yeah.
think so. So to see kind of the other ones right in there also
Yeah.
is definitely solid. So yeah, I mean, good golf club. I can see why you play it.
All right. Well, let's go to club number 2, and we're going to go with Ping Blueprint S here.
I feel like I've tried Ping irons before. I had Mizunos in the bag at one point,
Yeah.
but it's been like Mizuno Titleist, long time ago. I think I had TaylorMade
Okay.
irons in the bag at
So
one
you've been
point.
around the block, though, in terms of different stuff in the bag.
Yeah,
so.
I've tried different stuff. I
Yeah.
definitely always do come back to Titleist, and I've always, I mean, I played a Titleist driver for as long as I can remember, and the driver's always been the strength of my game,
Yep.
and always had Vokey wedges, but and Scotty Cameron. So I mean, definitely have always been really heavily Titleist, but I liked the Mizunos. I would say with the Mizunos, I did get sometimes they were just a little bit too hot. I feel
Yeah,
like the same
sure.
thing with TaylorMade. A lot of people say that they go really far and people love it, but I feel like TaylorMade, they're always really hot off the face, and sometimes for me it was the same thing too much.
Yeah.
But don't know a whole lot about Ping. Sorry, rambling a little bit about all my experiences, but
Yeah.
I've
Well,
never had Ping.
I think
so.
with these types of irons, you're going to get a lot less of that sort of explosiveness, or that they're not as hot, right? And so you're not going to have those super far distances that you're not used to. These are
Right.
built, they're forged, they don't have that hollow body or that they're not designed kind of with that juice to them, right? So
Right.
shouldn't see that type of characteristic to it.
That's gonna be the same thing as like the last shot. It's pretty solid, just a little baby push.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the Blueprint S, and also of note here, this has one more degree of loft in its standard setting. So this is, the last iron you hit was 32 degrees. This one's 33 degrees. So I would imagine once we get our numbers together, it'll be slightly
Shorter.
shorter and maybe slightly more spin as well.
Oh, interesting. I already see. I feel like I say that look doesn't matter, but like something about look like is a subconscious. I just swing it so much more deliberately
Yeah.
when I
That's,
when I,
I mean,
like the look.
that's natural too for
Yeah.
a lot of players.
That's really good.
Oh yeah. Okay. So you hit that one really good, you're thinking?
Yeah,
Okay.
that was like kind of. I mean, if I had to guess, if anything, maybe it was like a millimeter closer to the toe.
Yeah, that's fine. No,
But,
that's perfect.
I mean, I would love that swing on the golf course.
Yeah.
That felt really good.
Yeah, so that's where we see the spin go up a little bit there. Solid contact with that one. That doesn't surprise me at all, honestly, to see those numbers on a good swing, so to speak. Oh yeah, another really good one.
Yeah.
I'm
This is-
pretty sure that carry distance is it might have been the exact same as your last
Yeah,
one.
if not changed by like a yard.
Yeah.
That was almost like a knockdown
Oh, wow.
punch. Yeah. It's going to go really far. I felt it.
But see, that's interesting, okay, because you definitely launched that one lower. Look at the 1.42.
I know, like, it literally felt like,
That's interesting.
I mean, I swung it. I'm not surprised to see that because I literally swung it like a knockdown punch draw. That's like my go-to shot, kind
Yeah.
of. It felt really good.
Well, one thing I want to check here, just for fun, I know we're going to hit it maybe one or two more swings. Dynamic loft, since we have it. Okay, so you did compress, so
Yeah.
you showed 23.8 degrees of loft at impact, and these other ones, you've kind of been, it's funny, you've been decreasing that dynamic loft with each swing here with the Blueprint S. That's interesting. Now, again,
Dude, I think it's because I'm like hitting it so solid. I'm like kind of like, yeah, get out there, go,
no,
go.
yeah, that's,
Like I'm not
again, this is
hitting
just
a
you swinging the club.
high
so,
cuts. Well, and actually on that last one, I was almost choking down just a little bit too. So that's probably also why, because that's what I have a tendency to do if I'm hitting that kind of golf shot. Oh yeah, see, no, that one's a little high right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying
Is
to.
that maybe a mental?
It was an adjustment, yeah.
A subconscious correction. Because look at your dynamic loft here went up to 27.8.
Yeah.
It's like I gotta make sure I show the loft this time.
I know, that's funny. Yeah.
That one was hit solid.
Yeah, that's a little low. It's gonna go a little bit left.
Okay. Well, so we have some good findings already.
Yeah, you know, what I do really like about this is I feel very in control of the club face, and like it's always a good sign when I think right when you hit the ball, if you know exactly what the shot is gonna do. And I feel like, I mean, obviously, ideally, when you think you hit a bad shot, it still turns out good is what you're really looking for. But I mean, I was definitely impressed with the feel of this and how I felt like I could feel the club face the whole time. I felt like I knew what swing I was making and what kind of shot it was going to produce, and it's just worked really well.
Yeah, I think there's a sense too of maybe added confidence, just because I think you mentioned the way that it looked at address allowed you you felt a more sense of freedom, I guess, with your swing.
Yeah.
And it showed up. I mean, first of all, the dispersion's a lot smaller. This orange here is Ping Blueprint S versus the ZXi7. So really good dispersion. I took the best 5 of 6 swings with each. One thing that's worth noting here, and it goes back to that spin point I made, where Srixon irons have typically tested lower in spin. Ping has also been among the higher spinning irons. So despite actually showing, you showed less loft at impact with the Ping, but you still got 500 to almost 600 more RPM to spin on average. So this is definitely a higher spinning iron. And that can be good or bad for the player, depending on who you, I mean, for you, I know that, you've said in the past, you probably need a little more spin.
Yeah.
So this iron would probably fit you better for many reasons. The spin being one of them. Obviously, you also just seem to hit it better, more consistent. So this is pretty good. I mean, you hit that one really good.
Yeah,
you had one off swing there,
felt really good.
which was that second to last one that you kind of hit sort of high and right. If we actually
we were chatting away about.
Yeah, but this is really good. You mean you're hitting it more efficiently, right? 1.39 average is tremendous.
That's really solid. That's really solid.
Yeah. Well, now do we want to get to club number 3 here? We've
got
let's
do it.
The T150.
It's not as skinny as the Ping Soul, though.
Okay, so you think the top line of
the
Titleist
not.
is skinnier, but the Soul is bigger?
My eyes are pretty good.
Okay.
My eyes are good.
Yeah.
It was the first thing I noticed, and look at, I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really close.
Yeah,
but
it is.
I can tell.
Splitting hairs to a degree.
Yeah, split, but I could tell right away. I was like, the top is skinnier, but the Soul is not quite as skinny as the Ping. It also, this does feel heavier. I think that Ping club might be a little bit lighter.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, that feels really good.
Oh yeah, pretty good first swing there.
Yeah.
1.40 right off the bat with Titleist.
I mean, that golf swing, it's funny. I feel like a lot of times too, something that you need to keep in mind on TrackMan is like, if I hit that exact golf swing and aim 3 yards to the right, it's perfect. That's
right.
The thing.
I mean, here's the deal. That shot. I mean, I know you're kind of getting picky about how it turned over.
Right.
You're 14 feet left of the target of the hole, so to speak. So it's not like it's, that's still a pretty darn good result.
Totally. I mean, the face angle was almost like completely
square.
You're
a very makeable birdie putt with that.
Right. And 100 feet in the air. I mean, right away. I swung that one a little bit faster. The other ones, every single one, I mean, like
you're in the 81 range for the most of them.
I was 81 every single time. This one, gave it a little something extra. Oh, that was low left.
Okay. Did you hit that one good? Like,
it was
contact?
thin. It was thin. Low left just a little bit.
So I'm curious here too, as we get all the shots, is this one is back at 32 degrees. So but I'm already seeing spin that's still much higher than the Srixon.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that it spun Yeah, that's crazy. It's really solid.
Yes, that's really good.
Sheesh.
Turning her over, but still, I mean, again,
Yeah.
you're looking at that like, oh, that's turned way over. 22 feet, yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, well, and it's also like, I mean, look at the
that might be the farthest distance of the
I was
day,
just
too.
going to say, look at the carry.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a little just
Yeah, the
kind
face
of high
may be
right.
slightly open there, yeah.
Yeah.
Not bad at all,
No,
though.
it really wasn't. It was not that bad. Actually, I'm kind of surprised that I still got that much carry out of it. It's another good swing.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's
There
a
we
good
go.
ball. Yep.
I get so picky. I hate watching it finish left of that line.
That's okay. That's kind of a look into the mind of Emma, though, as a golfer. There's a certain miss you like and a certain one that you'll tolerate.
Well, it's funny because I hit draws, so my miss is going to be an overdraw. But I mean, ideally, I want my miss to just be that little push.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes
because
sense.
That is going to be better on the golf course. But yeah,
Because you're right, and I mean, I think most people are. I don't know if everybody's realized this yet, but like most of the time, if you hit it left, it means you pulled it, and when you pull it, you're actually de-lofting the club a little bit.
Right.
So it should, most of the time, it will go further.
Right.
Which is why distance consistency is such a big thing with these irons in testing, but also in fittings. Is like, if you have that pull miss, sometimes
Right.
you might hit it 170, sometimes it might go 190.
Right.
And on most golf courses, going deep is worse than being
Right.
short. So
Right.
it's just all those little nuances are something that we discuss.
I think the bigger problem is too, like with the spin, with the run out, like if you miss a shot to the right, it's kind of just gonna stop there.
Right.
As for a right-handed golfer,
Yep.
and if you miss a shot to the left, a lot of times it's a little scary because it's like,
Yeah.
oh boy, that's gonna kind of keep
Yeah,
rolling.
or you might catch like a downslope there and it'll skip back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Let me
All
try
right.
one more.
Yeah, let's get one more swing here.
Oh, that launched a little bit lower. I was gonna say that just felt like a little bit of
Okay.
just didn't catch it quite perfect.
Yeah.
Just a little kind of.
That's fine. I mean,
Push.
so what we're gonna do, because we did this with the other two, we're gonna find the worst.
Wow.
It might
Why
be
do you
this
think
one
I'm
here.
swinging it like a full mile an hour faster with this one?
And that it's not. I mean, honestly, it's not like a. It might just be the way you like
It
that
just-
club.
yeah,
Again, it could just be
yeah.
a freedom thing. But I think what we need to pay attention to here as well. I mean, we can look at the club speed as there's that mile an hour difference. So be it. But what we see is smash factor is, you were most efficient with the Titleist T150 and Ping Blueprint S in terms of contact.
Right.
I actually like how similar the spin were on these two irons.
Yeah, very similar.
And then the dispersion is really good too with those two irons. I mean, to me, for you, T150 and Blueprint S are the best performers today.
Yeah.
I guess, what did you think, first of all, on that the feel of this one too? We talked about look a little bit.
Yeah.
How'd that one feel?
I mean, I just love the look of all Titleist irons. I know
Yeah.
that Titleist, they always try to stay true to the look of their golf club,
Yeah.
so it's such a seamless transition.
Mhm.
So that I know for me, I play a mixed bag of irons as
Yeah.
well. So being able to have the different iron heads looks really similar, and you not being able to feel like you're swinging a completely different club.
Yeah.
With the GT metals, they completely changed up all the engineering, but it still does not look different from the TS.
Yep.
So I think that just for me, I love the look of Titleist clubs. I always have.
Yeah.
So that could be why I was swinging it
Right.
a lot more confidently and deliberately. But I mean, the Ping really surprised me.
Yeah.
I thought that it felt super comfortable. Something about it felt really soft. Like I was approaching it a little bit more delicately.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I can notice these changes in how I approach the golf ball and how I swing the club. Like the Ping just felt light. It felt soft off the face. I wanted to kind of grip down and like play with it a little bit
Yeah.
more versus this Titleist club. I would just feel like I can just rip my stock shot every
Sure.
time and it feels really solid. And then the Srixon was just kind of like, we're just trying to get it to work.
Yeah.
Which it did. I was
Well,
pleasantly
and-
surprised, but I can see
Yeah,
it.
and I think there's an element too of it. I think going in, knowing that you're a lower spinning iron player and that being a low spin iron, I think there's already kind of it was going to be tough for that to work for you in particular.
Right.
But I think we still saw like it was very consistent, right? Again, we talked about how your with Srixon, your 3 good swings were the same distance.
Totally.
So that there, and really that's the case with all these irons. Like the distance consistency is really good. That average plus or minus on both spin and then the carry and total distance right here of 2.8, 3.2, 2.3, 2.5. So it's not deviating at all.
No.
So I think golfers, when they play these irons, know that if they hit one solid, if they hit one maybe, they maybe pull one slightly, maybe a slight push, the distance isn't going to deviate, 10 yards like it might with some other irons.
Yeah. I mean, I think moral of the story is that it's always going to be whatever works best for you, and that's why you want to get fit. But your fitters definitely did a very good job on the survey, I would say, in picking these iron heads because they're all very good. They really are.
Yeah, definitely we saw that today. Again, Titleist T150, Ping Blue Pruness, Srixon ZXi7 were the 3 irons we tested. You can make the judgments for yourself as to which iron won this test. I think, again, as Emma said, the 3 irons chosen were really good as a representation of what's been best for the players iron category. So, Emma, thank you for testing, giving your feedback on the clubs today. I think we had a really good test here.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we had a great test. Like I said, I mean, your fitters are the best. They chose right.